Can you guess the price of this coin? Some verified high-grade auction records for the 2005 West Virginia State Quarter have climbed to $9,000, and certain dramatic off-center broad strike error examples have crossed $1,230 at collector sales. That's the kind of number that instantly turns an ordinary pocket quarter into a serious collector conversation. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a normal state quarter. George Washington on the front, the breathtaking New River Gorge Bridge on the reverse, and just another 25-cent coin most people would spend without a second thought. But this is exactly where the suspense begins. Because hidden inside the 2005 West Virginia issue is something collectors obsess over: condition rarity, strike quality, and genuine mint errors. Imagine pulling one from loose change. The coin feels ordinary. Maybe it has strong luster. Maybe the bridge design looks unusually sharp. Then you notice something strange: an off-center strike, a broad-struck edge, or a raised die break near the bridge itself. Suddenly, this isn't just change anymore. It becomes an error coin with collector demand. That transformation is what makes this story so addictive. A quarter made for everyday circulation becomes a rare collector treasure because of one tiny minting event. The planchet was struck outside the collar, leaving the coin wider than normal, thinner on one side, and visibly dramatic. Collectors love these mistakes because they are educational, visible, and easy to authenticate when genuine. One certified MS-63 off-center broad strike example reached over $1,230, shocking even experienced hobbyists. But the real jaw-dropping moment comes from the perfect mint state survivors. Most of these quarters circulated heavily, picked up scratches, bag marks, and dull surfaces. Yet a few escaped untouched. Coins with blazing original luster, flawless bridge detail, sharp rims, and top-certified grades can enter a completely different value universe. That's how a coin worth face value in circulation transformed into a $9,000 collector-grade rarity in MS-66, one of the strongest verified benchmarks for the entire 2005 quarter year. And this is what keeps viewers watching. The next quarter in someone's coin jar could still be one overlooked by everyone else. Not because every West Virginia quarter is rare, most are still worth face value, but because the right combination of visible date, top grade, proof-like surfaces, die breaks, cut errors, or off-center strike characteristics can push it into a completely different collector category. Now the emotional twist hits. What once looked like an ordinary memory from the 50 state quarters era suddenly becomes a piece of American numismatic history. Released in 2005 as part of one of the most successful U.S. mint programs ever, this coin carries both historical significance and the thrill of modern error hunting. Wikipedia. That's why collectors keep searching bankrolls, pocket change, and old jars. Because sometimes the difference between 25 cents and four figures is just one rare mint state surface, one visible die break, or one authentic off-center strike. And that possibility is what makes this coin unforgettable. So before you spend your next West Virginia quarter, check the date, mint mark, edge shape, strike alignment, and bridge details carefully. Because the coin everyone ignores might be the one collectors are willing to chase for $500, $1,200, or even $9,000 plus in elite certified grade. If you love rare coin discoveries, drop a comment with the next quarter you want uncovered. And don't forget to check your pocket change before it disappears. And just when you think you've seen everything this coin can offer, the story goes even deeper. Because not all value comes from what you can see immediately. Some of the most shocking West Virginia quarters reveal their true potential only under closer inspection, the kind of inspection most people never take the time to do. Now imagine this. You pick up another 2005 quarter. It looks clean, maybe even slightly better than the rest. But this time, instead of just glancing at it, you slow down. You tilt it under the light. The surface reflects differently. The luster doesn't break. The bridge lines appear unusually bold, almost sharper than expected. And then you notice something subtle. The spacing feels just a little off. The strike alignment isn't perfectly centered. There's a slight distortion near the rim. That's when the question hits again. What if this isn't just a normal strike? Because in the world of error coins, even the smallest shift during the minting process can create something collectors actively hunt for. A slight off-center strike, A partial broad strike, a clipped planche edge, a die crack slowly forming across the surface. Each one tells a story, not just of metal, but of a moment inside the mint where something didn't go exactly as planned. And those mistakes are exactly what can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's target. But here's where the suspense rises even higher. Because sometimes the coin doesn't need a dramatic error to become valuable. Sometimes, perfection alone is enough. A perfectly centered strike, flawless surfaces, no visible contact marks, deep original mint luster flowing across both sides. These are the coins that grading companies look at closely. And when one of these rare survivors earns a top-tier grade, that's when the real shock begins. Because now you're no longer dealing with just a collectible, you're dealing with one of the finest known examples. And that's a completely different level of demand. Collectors don't compete for average coins. They compete for the best. They compete for the sharpest bridge details, the cleanest fields, the most untouched surfaces. And when multiple collectors want the same top pop coin, that's when auction numbers can climb far beyond expectations. That's how records are made. That's how a quarter jumps from everyday change into a serious four-figure conversation, and sometimes even higher. Now think about this for a second. How many West Virginia quarters have already passed through people's hands without a second look? How many were spent on snacks, gas, or coffee, without anyone ever checking the strike, the alignment, the surface quality, or the possibility of a hidden error? That's the part that keeps this story alive. Because even today, there are still coins out there waiting to be noticed. Still sitting in jars. Still hiding in rolls. Still moving through circulation unnoticed. And all it takes is one careful look to change everything. One coin. One detail. One discovery. That's it. That's the difference between ignoring a coin and uncovering something that others missed. And this is exactly why experienced collectors never rush. They slow down. They examine. They question every detail. Because they understand something most people don't. Value isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's hidden in plain sight. So the next time you come across a 2005 West Virginia quarter, don't just treat it like spare change. Turn it, tilt it, study the bridge, check the rims, look closely at the strike, because that one extra second might reveal something no one else saw. And if it does, you won't just be holding a coin anymore. You'll be holding a story, a moment, a rare piece of modern mint history that almost slipped away unnoticed. And that's what makes this hunt so addictive, so keep searching. Because the next coin you check might be the one that changes everything.